Okay. Good evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. The time is now 7:04. I'd like to call this meeting of the Burlington Historic Preservation Commission to order. We don't have any absences.
No.
Okay. Well, Russ.
Oh, Russ is an absence, that's correct.
Okay,
So why don't we do a roll call?
okay.
All right, Chair Ulis,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pennington,
Here.
Ms. Geis, here, Ms. Ryan,
Here.
Ms. Meinking, here, and Mr. Vandermeer Peeler is absent, but he has requested an excused absence. So you want to make
Motion to allow his testimony. Okay, second.
so that was moved by Christina and seconded by Wendy.
Okay, roll call.
Yes. Chair Ulis?
Yes.
Vice Chair Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Geis?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Ms. Meinking?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Forgive me, I was eating some M&Ms and one of the peanuts is coming. Yeah. So our next item of business is to approve the minutes of the August 9th meeting. Did the commission members get a chance to look at them? Is there any changes you see that might need to be adjusted? Or?
I didn't see that.
Okay. I didn't see much either.
So Christina, you were absent, so you would have to recuse yourself from it. All right.
All right, so I need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right.
I'll do a roll call quickly. Yes. Chair Ulis?
Yes.
Vice Chair Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Geis?
Yes.
Ms. Bryan?
Yes.
And Ms. Meinking? Abstains.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right. So it looks like we have one applicant here today, Mr. Rodney Jackson, to enclose the rear screened porch at 247 Glencoe Street. I believe he's here today. Yep.
Yes.
Me. Okay. Jamie, did you have any emails or calls about this request?
No, we didn't receive any calls or emails. I will attest that the information I'm providing to the commission and to the public is the truth to the best of my ability. Included in your packet for tonight is our staff report, which summarizes Mr. Jackson's application. Similar to other projects up in Glencoe, he is making the request to enclose the rear porch. And included with the materials is the approval letter from Preservation North Carolina, so they have reviewed his application and also approved it. You'll notice that the findings of facts for this particular staff report is a little bit different than in the past because we have our new standards in place. So, so I did my best to match those up. So if you have any questions on anything, let me know. But staff has the map, all of the materials, and Mr. Jackson is here. Mr. Jackson, do you want to address the commission and just describe your project? I've got all of the pictures and all of the information included here if you'd like.
Sure. And you got it, because I didn't bring mine with me. I had my whole file I left at work because I was kind of
No problem.
working on it there.
So let me just, do you affirm that the information you're providing is the truth to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay. So I'll flip through. Here's the, I'll just,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
tell me where you want
So
me to
this is
go.
the current back porch, screen back porch. Excuse the jump. But so what we're desiring to do is to just this, put in a low knee wall and windows above it, to get it dried in and keep the pollen out, and then also to brick in that, fill in the columns with some brick to match, to go around the whole foundation. And and then on this end, actually I didn't put that in because my PowerPoint skills are horrible, but on this side where that is a brick wall, there will be an access door to go up underneath there. I just couldn't put it in, so I forgot to write that.
That will be down here?
That'll be down there, yes.
And it will be what kind of opening? It'll be like a...
It'll be wooden.
a wooden-
It'll look, I've got two more on this side of the house. It'll just match those. They're just a fabricated wooden door.
Gotcha.
That's,
Is there anything in the pictures that you provided that shows like a depiction of it?
No, there's not. And that's I forgot, as when I was going through and doing all that, I forgot to I never even thought about it actually until you just pulled the picture up today, that I was going to have an access door on that end. But it's a wood frame door. It'll have to be custom made because of the size of the hole or the opening. So.
And was that included in the materials that was submitted to Preservation North Carolina? Okay.
No, it was not. Like I said, it was total oversight because when I put this PowerPoint together, I was so focused on getting the brick to fit and getting everything to fit as I was copying and pasting the little windows and everything. It just, I totally forgot about it.
Does the commission have any questions for Mr. Jackson?
I have one based, so I thought that's what you were talking about, but now I realize that it's not. I had a question about the piece in the President C approved letter that says convert the window on the rear side gabled addition to a half glazed door as shown in the submitted plan. Where is that?
That's gone away. That was going to be, there's a doorway that is actually in the back room of the house. It's a window, and it was going to be to just make another entrance to the driveway side of the house. Since then, we've just gotten accustomed to using the front door, and so we decided not to go into all of that, to have to put a door in, and just it was going to get pretty involved. And so with the way that building materials and everything is right now, it's minimum as we can do, so we're fine without putting the door in. I think when I wrote to you guys, when I filled out COA, I did not put that in, and I had also let Kathleen know that we weren't doing that.
And I had emailed with her too, and so she's aware that that's
Yeah.
not part of your application.
Right.
Is there, I'm just noticing this, is there any expiration to presidency approvals for Glencoe? So this, the letter that they have is from 2020.
Considering that she and I have been emailing most recently, like within the last month, I don't have any issue with the date of the letter. You know, oftentimes people propose projects and then don't go forward with them, but it's always, you know, I brought it to her attention that your application had changed slightly without having that door there.
Yeah.
And so there was really no need to revise the letter or anything, but she was okay with that.
Thanks.
What I would say is if the commission is going to be so inclined to approve a door that they don't see here, that it would be subject to Preservation North Carolina's review and another subsequent letters submitted prior to anything being able to be completed. I'm just not comfortable with that.
I just have a comment. I will say, since I live in one of those Glencoe houses too, that those doors are very common as access to the crawl spaces.
Right.
I'm sure it would match your other.
Sure. Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess I'm just asking maybe off the top of your head on any of your other applications that you have submitted with pictures of your house. Would it have been included in any of those?
No, because the doors are on the opposite side of the driveway, and they're further up. One is actually under the actual 1800s part of the house, and then another one is under the addition that is attached to that screen porch. And so,
I can try to pull up Google Earth. Do you think if I go to a street map it would show?
no, it's on the side.
Just trying to help you.
Yeah, I know. That's like I say. As soon as I saw that picture, as many times as I've been through it, I just totally had a blank out for adding that door on the end there.
So if we're looking at the overview of your house here, and this is where the screened-in porch is, which side is it going to be on?
That side where your cursor is right now.
On the south side?
It'll be on the same side the other two doors are on. So
Okay,
the other doors are on that side of the house. One door is just underneath the A-frame of the addition of the roof right there. And then the older door is underneath the original part of the house, right there on the other side of the steps.
okay.
Come down the
So
back.
the doors are gonna match exactly?
They'll match, oh yeah. Matter of fact, I've got to rebuild the one that's on the old door because it's starting to wobble a little bit.
Do you know when the addition that, the addition of this, included this porch was put on the house?
I do not. I couldn't even, I can tell you it was 3 owners ago, but I couldn't date it. I can tell you it was done when the, I can't remember their last name now, but anyway, I'm gonna say it was done in the early 2000s, possibly mid 2000s.
Does anybody else have any? And everything's gonna match?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
not gonna be anything,
Oh, yeah.
there's
No, nothing odd, nothing, it's not historical.
So we're inclined to approve with that.
Well, there is somebody sitting in the audience, so you may just want to ask if there's any questions from any members or comments.
Just that Rodney has really high standards. I trust him. I live right across the street, so.
And I live next door to one of your previous project houses.
Yeah, you live in
Yeah.
the red
And
house,
that's,
yeah.
it's just beautiful.
Thank you.
You have my vote of confidence.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there any more discussion from any of the commission members?
So, do we want to approve the application subject to Preservation North Carolina's approval of the door to be added to the south side that Mr. Jackson will submit pictures of?
And do you want me just to submit you another picture? I can actually modify that last PowerPoint and
Sure.
put the door on it. So
Right, and
it's
then
actually
have
correct.
the picture, maybe include the other doors
Yeah,
to show the
I'll do that.
comparison.
That'll be fun.
So the door, subject to the doors matching, the existing doors that are there, and the Preservation North Carolina
Approval.
review is in approves it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch that, Brianna?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So I'll make that motion.
We do roll call.
Yes, Chair Ulis,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pennington,
Yes.
Ms. Geis,
Yes.
Ms. Bryan,
Yes.
and Ms. Montague. Okay.
Appreciate it.
So, once you submit that additional material to us and the letter to us, then essentially you'll be in compliance with the COA. I can then issue you the
Okay.
COA paperwork and the yellow card, and you can apply for, you can apply for building permits at any point, but they won't get approved until that condition's met.
So I'll submit to Kathleen also and let her know that I'm putting the door in that way.
That's
Do
perfect.
you need a letter from her, another statement from her?
An email or a letter, yeah. I
That'd
mean,
be fine.
a letter may take more time, an email is fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. No problem.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And you could start the other parts that have already been approved if you wanted to,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Just
Yeah, I've
just
had-
come to pick up the COA paperwork and the yellow card before you do that.
Right, yeah, and the foundation is like, it doesn't have to be done straight away, so it's not like it's got to be the first thing. It's just filling in, so
All right.
that'll be fun.
Continue on?
Yes, and looks like there's no new business.
No.
Okay. So I guess we move on to other business.
Yep, so as you are aware, City Council did approve the historic district standards, so very, very excited about that. We did send out an email to everybody, so if you want a hard copy versus a PDF link, that's fine, just let us know, we'll be happy to make copies. Is anybody in favor of that? Yes? Two? Okay.
For some reason, I didn't see that email, so I will.
Okay, yes, well, there's two. We will be having, I think it would be helpful for the commission members to have sort of a informal training or little workshop on the standards themselves, since things have changed slightly. And there were some modifications or additions that the city council did include as well, which we can talk about. I think all in all, we have had really, really positive, great feedback on the updated standards, and we also want to send out postcards to all of the property owners within the two historic districts with a QVC link and information, just letting them know that there's new standards in place. So I reached out to the consultants to see whether or not they're interested in having an informal workshop. If they are not able to, then I will do that. So kind of with that said, I mean, I can sort of go through the standards just on their makeup. I know that many of you have been part of the process and also part of the meetings that we've had. Does anybody want me to spend 10 minutes just going through the standards a little bit tonight?
When is it?
I haven't been on the committee.
But it's just that
I
first
don't
month.
feel good, so I'm just,
Okay.
I don't want to have to be here any longer.
I mean, if you want to
All of a
excuse
sudden.
yourself, we've gone through the application, so there.
I just, all of a sudden, when I got here, it's just like, I'm just really tired. No, it's not that.
It's the first month of school, I guess is what it is.
Thank you.
My dinner was a little too rich or something.
So, you're welcome to stay or whatever you're comfortable with. I can just say that, so on our website, there's the project website that has had all of the whole process that we have followed. So the final adopted, I put it in caps here, final adopted document is down at the bottom of this website page devoted to our historic district standards. And then I also, where did I put it? Somewhere else here. Historic district overlay standards at the top. I replaced the old standards with the link to the newly adopted standards here. So this is straightforward to where they are. Okay. So I can probably just go to the table of contents and just do a quick overview that way, and then if there's things that you want me to jump to, I can. A lot of the beginning materials, you may be familiar with in part of our discussions and whatnot, but talking about the districts and the background of the districts and the design review committee, should you guys decide that that's something that you want to pursue. The difference between major and minor COAs, the COA process. Those are probably things that, are helpful to focus in on, starting on page B7. This is one of the changes that the City Council had relative to work that is in the public right-of-way, not work that is on private property, was shifting the category of work, to refer to no COA, because it's really work that's not on private property, but where there was in the past major COAs, I believe it was, I don't want to get this wrong, but there are instances where staff would present items that are asterisked to the HPC for your review and recommendation. So those are asterisks that are highlighted in this matrix here.
So those used to require a major COA.
Yes.
Now they require no seal.
Right.
So what's the function of the HPC review and recommendation?
Just for you to be aware and provide feedback. Yeah. And these are more like capital projects, you know, things that the city would do, that, you know, installing, marking pavement or resurfacing streets, installing identification signs, that would come to you guys. General maintenance of trees and the Appearance Commission also gets involved with these things too. So there is other oversight. Okay. And then, you know, as many of you are aware, we tried to make the matrix very straightforward. So, you know, just focusing on these pages, dealing with the different categories of work. This defines what's going to come to the HPC, what's going to be able to be approved administratively, and what is general maintenance, no COAs. Okay? So I'll go kind of back to the table of contents again. The historic district content, that's just more information about the development of the districts, and then there's those individual kind of diagrams of the different types of buildings to help describe the nomenclature of things. So there's a lot of, you know, useful information to sort of educate ourselves on. But then the crux of the standards that really, you know, we focus in on when applications are being reviewed deal with Section D, which is the design standards. And so this is broken into a breakdown of historic buildings starting with 1 through 8. All goes into individual sections on, I think it's preservation, maintenance, and something else, where we talk about the different types of work, like maintenance and alterations. The application that came in front of us tonight dealing with the porches, I went to that section to review what that section said regarding, you know, alterations and adjustments. And then, so each of these sections, additions, has their own design standards. New buildings has their own design standards. Outbuildings has their own design standards. And then there's the materials and the materials matrix that is also included in the design standards as well. So as we get each different type of application, we would be looking at the design standards section to see how the application is consistent or not. And so, for example, the porches and the balconies, they start with maintenance. We're not really dealing with maintenance per se here. We're dealing more with the design standards and the preservation qualifications. And if there is some sort of, you know, repair, like the last application that we had last meeting on the applicant who wanted to do a lot of different repairs on their property, we would be looking at the categories relative to that. So, and replacement as well. Then, so like I said, depending upon the different type of application, we would be looking at that section. Then you've got the glossary at the end, you've got the recommended tree and plant materials list. We also included, just for the public's sake and for our own sake, just some information about what requires building permits, just so somebody may have some questions about what their next steps are. And then links to the other documents. That's that's a quick and dirty overview. And that,
Yeah, I'm looking at the whole thing, I'm like, it's awesome.
yeah, and just, try to, and so, as you know, this is a living document. We're good, with reviewing this document and providing to the Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council recommendations, things that need to be tweaked, things that need to be altered, as we move forward in the implementation, for the projects that come in front of you. Okay.
Great. So we are likely to have 2 new commission members soon.
So I think at the meeting on the 20th, the city council meeting on the 20th, I believe, they will be bringing up appointments again for the boards and commissions that they did not do. So we'll know more next week.
So some kind of training here might be useful. There's also the online training, I think.
Yes.
You sent from the
Yep,
school
I
of
sent
government.
that to everyone as well. There's the virtual training.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, it's always good to have this refresher, right? And it's also part of our CLG requirements to have ongoing training and maintenance. So,
Do you remember when those are?
I can look it up, yeah.
Just wondering
I
if
think there was one,
if any commission
and,
members might be able to.
I sent it to the email.
It's Thursday, December 1st.
Thursday, December 1st?
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we
1
can-
to 3:30.
1 to 3:30. We'll send that out again, as a reminder.
And when we find out who our new commission members are later this month, maybe
Yeah, I
we
think
can send them.
last time we had new commission members, we spent some time, and we spent some time, I spent some time going over the roles and responsibilities of the commission, the difference between legislative and quasi-judicial actions. We'll obviously have the new standards to have and to review, so we can certainly do that again as well. But the training sessions are always kind of fun to participate in because it's all encompassing and goes more into detail in terms of Secretary of Interior standards and the makeup of different things, so.
I think my orientation was David giving me the binder. He's like, here.
That's how mine was too.
Yeah.
Well, any questions? No? So, we can move on then to the minor COAs?
Mhm.
Okay, just included in the packet as always, are the minor COAs that I have reviewed and approved, since your last meeting. And the next item is CLG training, I pretty much covered that. I think the only other thing I will add is that the request for the properties to come out of the historic district was continued to October, one of the October dates. So, so there's no update on that one, just that it's been, but it's not for, they closed the public comment, so it's just, it will be for their consideration.
When's the last time the font for the minor COAs? When's the last time that the font for these documents was updated? I was just looking at this, I'm like, I think we could probably
Oh, we can
modernize.
That's a good idea.
Unless that would offend
No, that's a-
anybody.
No, that's a good idea, it's very,
It's like old
can,
Target.
we can certainly update the COA certificate and also add, we need to also add some information to the application itself.
Well, I guess since that's everything, we can have early tonight. So then,
Yeah,
with
that's
that being said,
right.
I move for an adjournment.
Second. Oh, so moved, my bad, I'm so sorry, so moved.
All right, all in favor?